Star Wars Visions. Let's get into it. All right, I'm Herb,
I'm Nick.
and we'll be talking about Star Wars Visions. It's a 9-part anthology series, anime style. Each episode is from a different anime studio, well known. Now, I don't know a whole lot about anime, but Nick here does.
Yes, I do. I've watched it pretty much my whole life.
All right, so you probably were pretty excited when you heard about it.
Yeah, I was. I was actually really surprised that Star Wars went into the anime scene. I really never would have expected it.
Oh, yeah, I don't think a whole lot of people did, and I think that was a good thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, like we said, it's a 9-part series. Each episode has their own storyline. None of it's canon, I would say.
No, I would say none of it's canon. It's very different. I mean, each episode has its own story within it, so...
So, like, these are characters that we've never seen before and never known, so it's
yeah,
completely just straight different from actual Star Wars.
Watching anime for so many years, the studios that produced this show, you can definitely tell they took inspirations from the other shows that they produced and directed and threw it into each episode. But other than that, I wouldn't see any character that's, directly put in except for the music episode with Jabba the Hutt.
Let's not talk about that one. No, just kidding. So you were saying these 9 episodes kind of reflect the 9 Sorry about my dog. I don't know if you can hear. I'm sure you can. But these 9 episodes reflect the 9 episodes of the actual story in the way that it's just, one episode per actual episodes that came out.
Yeah. So like you're talking about there's 9 episodes of the original Star Wars quote unquote series, and then there's 9 episodes within Visions to kind of parallel both stories.
Oh, okay. So what we're gonna do is we pick 3 of our top episodes, and we're gonna talk about the 3 top ones because there's so much to get into and so much to each episode.
Exactly.
So I guess it's before we go into like all the episodes or whatever that we like, we should probably each episode is made from a different studio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so one of the interesting things is there's actually 9 episodes, but only 7 studios because 2 studios got to do 2 episodes, which I found was pretty interesting.
Oh, wow.
The studios that we watched were Kazukaze Doga, Trigger, Production GI, and Geno Studios.
Okay.
So most of them are pretty well known. Trigger was one of the ones that got to do 2 of the episodes, which was Twins and The Village, which for them The Village was a very different art style from the traditional, where Twins is more or less the arts, animation style that they usually use, similar to like Kill la Kill and Darling in the Franxx.
Okay. Well, I mean, that sounds interesting, definitely, especially for the people who know anime. But if you really think about it, Disney never lets their IP go easily. So This is definitely a special treat for us,
Yeah, which interesting though is this is not the first time in anime. Actually, Studio Ghibli was part of the Disney dubbed. That's the only way that the Studio Ghibli films got dubbed was through Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not the first time with anime, but it's definitely been a long time.
Yeah, definitely. Especially something as near and dear to everybody's hearts as Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think George Lucas would have ever allowed it.
No, definitely not. Definitely, especially some of the way some of the things are portrayed.
Yeah,
very different.
Very different.
So let's get into it. I mean, I guess the first episode we're going to talk about is called The Duel.
Yes.
Okay, and it's made by Kamikaze Doga.
Yeah, Kamikaze Doga.
Kamikaze Doga.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the English translation, at least. The Japanese one's much harder.
Okay. All right, cool. So this anime, I guess, would be both of our favorites, right?
Yeah. So I really did like the Duel. The art style at first was kind of weird. The black and white with like almost only color within the lights.
Yeah.
But after like the first minute of the episode, you kind of forget about it.
Yeah. Oh, I dug it, dude. It looked like an old samurai movie to me, like
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
and I think that was
I really
part of
dug
the
that.
inspiration.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. So I really dug the art style on that one. I think it makes it what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Especially when he holds the dual lightsabers is kind of more of a traditional samurai swords layout.
oh, okay. All right. So main character, Ronin.
Ronin, yeah.
Okay. So he enters like a village. He's kind of like a traveler, right? So he enters a village. Obviously, the village, just a little small town. We don't know exactly what decade or age it would be, right?
Yeah, no.
So it's very hard to determine. However, it looks like a big troop carrier comes through, right? So, and it's interesting because the troop carrier, it holds troops. Well, I guess not really troops, but bandits.
Yeah.
So, but they have like old armor.
Yeah, like old stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
The lead guy, for some reason, has like this weird bandana on his head.
And he has one of those shoulder, what you call it?
The shoulder pads from the clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clone shoulder pad.
It's I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, it starts with a P.
I don't
know. Anyway, so we're not going to even look it up. Yeah, no, but it looked like there was some first order ones too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So
it was definitely this like a mismatch of
just remnant, whatever was left behind.
Yeah.
So anyway, they come through the village to go ahead and take what they call taxes, and pretty much rob them.
Yeah.
So, and I found it pretty interesting that the child was the chief.
Yeah, they don't explicitly say it. It's presumed that the chief is either sick or just unable to be the acting chief. So it looks like the son just kind of got the defaulted role.
Oh, okay. Like as per their rules of whatever.
Yeah, it's probably like a cultural thing, just the lineage.
The next in line. Okay, so the child who is the chief gets called out by these bandits, right? So and he begins to resist their efforts to rob him.
Yeah, I thought the little hand gesture thing was kind of cool to do the strike.
Yeah. At least some kind of organization.
Yeah,
in that,
so. A little cliche, but I respect it. I always think that stuff is cool. Like, kind of reminds me of the Assassin's Creed games where you got to call down your assassins to take out the Templars and stuff. So, so once the resistance kind of starts taking down the troops, that's when the credited is as the bandit leader, played by Lucy Liu, which is a fun fact. She pops out, and people who've watched anime, when she rises up, that music is kind of like got the tone of Ghost in the Shell, which is a very popular anime that started in the 90s and still continuing today in different forms and fashions within movies and series and stuff. So that was kind of cool as a long-term anime fan to kind of hear that iconic. It wasn't the direct music, but you could tell it was definitely inspired by it.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of cool.
Oh, definitely. And Ghost in the Shell was a movie too, right?
Yeah, it was a long time series and multiple movies, and they did make a live action one with Scarlett Johansson, which was very heavily critiqued by the anime community.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I don't know about the movie, but she looks good. But she looked good. Anyway, so this person you're talking about who rises from the carrier, she is either a Sith or she is within like that type of
Yeah, I would. I think she claims that she's a Dark Lord, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't really give her that title. I would more say she's a dark side user,
Oh, okay.
whether other than like, bleh. Other than the fact that she's an actual Sith. I wouldn't call her a Sith, but I would call her a dark side user, even if she wants to give herself that title or not.
And she has a very interesting lightsaber at this point. Right?
Yeah, the umbrella lightsaber.
Yes. The next iconic lightsaber would be
Yeah.
the umbrella lightsaber.
Everyone was upset about the hilt that Kylo Ren had,
Oh yeah, yeah, true.
but no one said anything about the lightsaber. But what I thought it was interesting is like when she first attacked with it, she runs the blunt umbrella through the person and then ignites the lightsabers.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
I was just like, there's no point. So I was like, okay, maybe she used like force speed to get that thing through because I have no idea otherwise.
Showmanship,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Showmanship. So she is definitely a force user. She pretty much lays waste to these people.
Oh yeah, with
like,
ease,
almost immediately. And then the main character, Ronin.
Yeah,
This is his call to action. Pretty much is like
as he walks slowly through all the battle going on, just not even caring about anyone else. It's just his focus is on the bandit leader.
Okay. But she focuses her intention on him. And that's kind of where the duel starts.
I'm assuming she kind of felt the force presence. I'm assuming he's not hiding it. She seems skilled enough to be able to have that knowledge of when there's another force user around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I thought it was a pretty cool touch is when she unsheathes the umbrella to have like the actual lightsaber. When she throws it, it kind of floats down like an actual umbrella.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was a pretty neat touch. Just a small detail, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then obviously he's standing there like a traditional samurai, pulls out his blade like a traditional samurai, which was also a pretty nice touch.
Yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, that lightsaber doesn't deactivate.
I thought about that too because when I was the second time I was watching it, right? He pulls it out and it's already ignited. Same thing with her. She ignites. The lightsaber is already ignited through the umbrella, and she unsheathes it, and it's already ignited. But his second blade retracts and detracts.
Right.
Because that's how he finishes her. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, spoiler alert.
But, when he ignites that one and then retracts it, he was kind of doing like a stealth move there. So my question is, would the other ones be able to? They just chose not to. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So at first I thought, I was like, oh, it's cool. Like they can't retract them. They have to be like a samurai sword. But the other blade kind of retracts on that. So I don't know. I think it was
it might be that specific blade or maybe.
Yeah, or it's just a style thing. It's the classic go behind trick.
Oh, of course.
But anyways.
She is, anyway, yeah, definitely. She is surprised that he is a force user.
Yeah.
So I'm sure at this point in time, wherever they're at, they don't see that very often.
Yeah, and she even presumes he's a Jedi until he pulls out his blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then unfortunately, that's not the case. He's not a Jedi.
Yeah.
So.
The thing that we forgot to mention was his droid got shot, and he asked the old man he was staying with to fix the droid before the tea kettle kind of goes off, and the guy's just like, I don't know why, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna listen to what this guy says, and that'll play into factor later in the fight.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the guy who was fixing the droid really didn't have I don't want to say a choice, but he knew that this would be like their only shot to like save the community.
Yeah.
So
he's like, well, I guess I'll try to do what he says because he must have a plan. Otherwise, we're all dead anyways. So
right. Yeah. So anyway, so moving on, the duel begins with the Sith-like person and Ronin. They kind of end up on a log.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do end in a vlog. And for some reason, she decides to cut it so they can go down the river.
Well, classic cinema. I'm sure
Yeah,
that's,
I mean, it's cool, but, in an actual stance of battle, it makes no sense.
right.
But that's kind of how anime works anyways.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nonsensical things that you're just like, why would you ever do that?
True. Because the little bit of anime I know, it's a lot like that. Like,
Yeah.
Why would they hire a high schooler to catch the best criminal mind ever?
Ooh, that I sent a Death Note joke there.
Yeah, definitely. But all right, so they're on the slog. They're going towards a waterfall. They capture the chief of the town.
Yeah.
He's ready to surrender.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready to go over the waterfall, pretty much.
Yeah.
She requires his lightsaber.
Yeah.
For in order to stop the duel.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happens next?
Well, actually, there's one detail, right? So they're on the log fighting, and the fighting's really good. Sound effects, the animation of the actual fight, it's very smooth. Everything's so nice. Did you also know she was wearing heels the entire time?
Oh yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah.
Which
Sure.
being struck on that log, it's pretty impressive, just alone,
Right. Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, he goes to put away his sword. He puts it away, and he slowly is putting his hand away, and he presses a button on his wrist, which then activates his droid, sending missiles out, taking out all the other bandits.
Okay.
She kind of rages at them. They fall off the waterfall, and then he seems to disappear. She did something to find out that there was a cave. I don't remember. Do you?
She manipulated the log to cut the waterfall.
Oh,
to
that's
spread it to yeah.
Yeah.
So she was able to look through just a little bit, and she saw the lightsaber.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, once she finds it, she enters in there, just immediately strikes, no hesitation, no, just to finish it, and ends up being a statue. And that's when he comes from behind her, activates the lightsaber, killing her,
Right.
and then deactivates it, kind of does that cool flip and put it away. And that's how she dies, and he goes back to the town.
Right, yeah. And the town is saved now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like the art style, the pacing, like everything was really, really well done. The way that they told the story was really well, and I think it deserves to be the best one out of all of them. So
yeah, they're coming out with a graphic novel of it or a comic in October. So I'm really to see if it's going to be like a prequel to the actual episodes, and then I'm curious to see if they're going to make more either episodes of him or other characters within this show, because some of them definitely deserve either a comic or their own show or more episodes at least.
Definitely. One last thing we should mention though is he has a collection of kyber crystals. He takes her kyber crystal, and he was about to add it when you can see about 5 or 6 already in his.
Yeah.
So he has been hunting Sith or something
Yeah, he's definitely not a Jedi, even though the townspeople assumes he's a Jedi until he pulls out the red lightsaber himself. But it's definitely interesting to see where his character is going to go and where they're going to take it and how far they're going to take it.
This will be our review of this episode.
It should have been the last one.
Yeah, agreed. Although you have to start off on the right foot,
True, but the last one was not good.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, no, definitely. So anyway, this is our review of The Duel by Kamikaze Doga.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we're going to be doing the rest of the reviews here, and we'll see you in a few.
Yep.
So, okay. So they start fighting or whatever, and it's kind of interesting because there's like a droid, like a what you call it? Damn it! What do you call those things? The damn probe droid.
Astromechs? No, is he? Is
It's like it was like a droid that it was like a Rakanan.
Oh, Rakanan's droid?
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called. We're
It's
gonna
like
go with
like
Rakanan's droid. But yeah,
let's not even talk about it.
he had all the guns.
Well, it was like some kind of knives or something, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah,
It was like those floating things. That
yeah,
kind of yeah.
the black floating things that
Yeah.
the recon.
Integral to the plot of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's called. All right, so let's all right, so we'll say he was fighting enemies.